Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Loral Langemeier.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Loral Langemeier's weekly market awareness update. Very happy to have you here, whether you're listening on Loral's Real Money Talks podcast or the Facebook Millionaires in Training group or any of the other social platforms. Happy to have you here today and happy to take your questions. We have a very special theme of love and money this month. I'm going to be getting to some of those crazy stories we've heard about financial conversations between partners that need to be addressed, need to be coached through and helped accordingly. So without further ado, very happy to have Loral and our special guest, Eileen Galbraith, on the call today. Ladies, how we doing?
We're great. Awesome. And Eileen's calling in on her retreat, her business retreat, business trip from the Arizona area. And we're dialing in from Northern Nevada. So welcome back. I cannot believe we are already 6 weeks into this year. And I just got to, we're going to keep what I call linking the learning. We're going to go back to January a little bit. You have got to, I'm going to say it this way. You can't leave your commitments behind, right? So if you wrote them down, plastered them on your wall, by the way, now, if you say I want 10,000 a month, well, then you should have 10,000 by this week, 500, 1,500 in your bank account as new revenue. If not, you're off course already. You've got to get coached. I can't imagine how many of you signed up for weight loss coaches and all these delivery food systems and all this shit that's getting delivered to your house. Your vehicle's more expensive than you, caring about money. Sometime you're going to have to get serious about this conversation because it's going to domino quickly. In fact, we always say if you don't get help and get some adjustments by April, May, the dominoes, meaning the month will just fall to the month to the month to the month. You can't catch up. So if you said you wanted 10,000, which means 120,000 a year, the dominoes are going to go really, really far and fast. So make sure that you keep your commitments. And if they're falling short, get to your coach. Even if you're in fast cash, get to fast cash. We see a pretty staple. What do we see, Steve? About 40 an event when hundreds of you are signed up for fast cash coaching. So we need to see a lot more of your cute faces to make sure you're making money. I don't know what else you're doing or what else you put in a higher priority of making money. So Eileen, what anything you want to kind of say about the beginning of the year and that just critical update we always, do for folks?
Well, absolutely. What you were saying is, the mentorship that you have here is phenomenal. And you need to make sure that everything is in place starting from the beginning of the year, because like Loral, like you just said, the whole domino effect takes place. If you're not ready now, gosh, come May and June, you're going to be trying to play catch up, and you don't want to be doing that because that creates even more stress for you in your life. So take care of what you need to take care of now. Get into the calls, get into this group, make sure you're getting your questions answered, and let's keep moving forward.
Yep. And as we move into this month, every month we're going to be doing a campaign and a theme. We have the love and money theme and campaign. So what you do, and Steve, if you want to, let's jump out to the chat. Thomas, I know you're out there as well. There is the money date. So where do they, if they haven't registered for the actual love and money, where do they go? If they haven't submitted their story, you are going to hear some of the most interesting stories coming soon. And we are asking for the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want to know the stories of love and money. Eileen and I are going to be here through the month coaching you on your relationships. So there you go. If you have not submitted your story, been in the competition. By the way, what did you guys actually finally agree to for the winner? And the winner is the person who our internal team picks, who has the most good. Should we have categories like the good, the bad, and the ugly?
That seems fair. Yeah.
Yeah. You have some interesting stories there.
You have no idea. So what's the award for the winners? I'll call them that.
Want to clarify, but I do believe that the winner of the story is going to get a money makeover. Believe was that what Steve and Andrew and the rest of the team had put together. So whatever catastrophic story you may have, good news is that there's quality coaching available to help you make sense of that and see what we can do to move you forward on your path to financial freedom. So again, go to askloral.com/mystory. We will take all those story submissions. I do like the good, the bad, the ugly. I think we should actually take 3 of those there.
Love that. That's
or like
perfect.
a gold, silver, bronze, something like that with the Olympic.
No, like really, it's got to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then I think we actually put them on like little certificates and we mail them to people so they can put them on their wall to say I had the ugliest fucking story. So I say that because, my ugly would be, my horrific divorce that never ended. It was just like going on forever and the checkbook just kept writing checks to have him go away.
And Helene had a very good question. She says, it looks like it's only for couples. Is that true? No, it's actually for business couples. And depending on the quality of the story, we may even just be, singular money story, right?
I mean, maybe, you got left. I mean, I know I could have contributed to, I've left a few at the altar. I mean, I could contribute those to it too. Like I was. I
hear another book coming.
Right? It was like actually written after me. I know it was like there were many times. Actually, we had to have a party one time. It was so close. I'll never forget. My parents, we didn't talk for years. This is a funny little story. I love how we have topics and then funny little stories pop up. I was 24, was supposed to get married. His surprise present to me when I graduated with my master's degree, my exercise physiology degree, was, oh, honey, we're moving to Utah. And it's like, I have a company in Nebraska. And I have an enormous contract with Precor Fitness and all the, are you kidding? I'm the one actually making a lot of money and you want me to pick up? Aren't you cute? He had bought a house is how cute he was. And it's like, well, so we're really close to getting married. And so I visited, I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing? So I went to my Aunt Bev that everybody knows in my book. And I'm like, what are you doing? She said, you're going to get a rubber stamp, those cancel stamps. You're going to cancel everything. My mother would be horrified right now if I was telling you a story. Cake was ordered. Everything was ordered. She said, we're going to have a cancel party. And so, my parents did not show up and my siblings were forbidden, but I can tell you a lot of people showed up for the cancel party. And
that's awesome.
Food, we had the band, everybody was partying. Like, oh, you already bought it. So my mom has never forgiven me. So I don't know. Single. To me, that would be like the funny story. But anyway, yeah, I had a cancel party. So anyway, that would be, I don't know what category, if that's the good, the bad, the ugly. For me, it was great. It would be the great category because I got three. So let's start out with the big bang. I'm going to do some stories, kind of like we do the Ask Loral. Eileen, you and I will react. And some of these are like first times I just read this morning. So get ready. I'm going to start with like an ugly, like I don't even know. All right. Rico Gomez. Right. So this is an ugly. Ready? My wife got drunk at our Christmas party, slept with my twin brother. Long story short, she got pregnant with twins. Her and my brother have drained my bank accounts. They've allowed me $2,000 a month for bills. But other than that, I support all four.
Wow.
Enrico, if you're out there, darling, we are not laughing at you. We are just,
no.
I'm going to say freaking
empathizing with you.
Yeah. Like, all right. So there's a million questions. I wish you would be live. By the way, we are going Clubhouse live today, my debut at 1:00. So any of you on Clubhouse, one of you guys to go over there and figure out how to let everybody on and listen to me at 1, because we actually then interact and talk very openly. He probably didn't know we were going to read his question. So in the future, team behind the scenes, let's get the people that we're going to read their questions on. Let's be more purposeful next week. And that way we can talk to them. So first of all, like, are you divorced? I mean, number one, like divorced, and you're not obligated. It doesn't sound like they're your children, so they're not yours either. So I don't know why you're taking care of them, any of them. And depending on what state you're in, when you cheat, you are disengaged from alimony. So you wouldn't have any alimony. There's nothing to do. I mean, if I'm you, cut the cord. Yeah, you probably love the chick, but there's more to love. There's plenty out in the world to love. You'll find another better. Obviously, she wasn't that great if she slept with your brother.
Exactly.
Unless you like that kind of relationship. The only challenge I just realized about this kind of a conversation is our belief systems and our values. So whatever, you can have whatever yours are. I mean, for God's sakes, men get to play on women's sports. I don't know. I was an exercise physiologist. Thomas, your wife, neither of us could even agree the fact that the genetic makeup, I don't care if the man wants to be a woman, is going to hurt women. Cannot happen. I have got huge issues about this. So, Rico, go get divorced, maybe move, and let them suffer. It's not your problem. And why? And I don't understand. You say they allow you $2,000 a month for bills,
what's that all about?
but then you support all four. So you must be the emotional support. So I would cut the ties, probably move, get the hell away from them. Yeah. Go like start a company if you needed to. Probably the only place I'd say go get a job. Like go find a new community. Like hang out with us. Like, and then make your own money. And if they want to keep giving you $2,000, take it. That'd be awesome. Maybe that's their sympathy money. I don't know. What do you say, Eileen?
Well, it's the same thing you're always saying, plan your divorce while you're still married, because when it gets to that point, you're not going to have that good conversation. So I totally agree with that. Sever all ties, move on with your life. You need a better quality of life. Let them go live theirs. Just walk away.
Yep. Walk.
Run away, actually.
I am single, not part of a couple. Although losing my partner, it left me in financial straits. Still trying to get back on my feet. The past year was the most stressful. Contacted COVID. Ended up in the hospital with congested heart failure. Shit, that's an ugly one. And you know what's interesting, Barbara? So sorry to hear that. And financial straits for you. So I'm assuming because you probably had the partner as a plan. So I think the overall message for all of you, I don't care where you are, you need to at least become either very sufficient or have the proper assets to cover if the person who's earning most of the money leaves the relationship or dies, that you're set. And I can tell you that's where insurance, Thomas, if you want to put in the askloral.com/insurance, this cash value insurance that we've been talking about with Jason is very different because you can pull from it immediately. Not that you want to drain your assets, not a fan of draining assets. But, you know, there's a side of you, Barbara, that as you heal, you're going to have to get back into a business or a job. I mean, you're going to have to go make some money. It sounds like the partner had it. And I think for the most part, a lot of people end up in that situation because you don't plan for that. You don't plan to be left alone. And I'd have to ask you a bunch of other questions. Are you the one that really wanted to leave before? And it just took them leaving, but they left with the money. What would you say about that, Eileen?
Well, and the other part of that is, and I'm going to go right to the credit piece. Anytime people get separated or get divorced, one of the first things they want to do is make sure their checking accounts are stopped. They're not commingling funds anymore because from my own personal experience, my ex-husband took a lot of money out of the checking account when we were going through our situation, and I didn't realize it at the time. Lesson learned. And also make sure that the credit is not commingled anymore. If you have joint accounts, that's going to affect you. Well, and have that plan in place.
And in fact, talk a little bit about that because I watched, my now husband, which will be fun next week on the 16th is our wedding anniversary. So we're going to have an anniversary party today. So, I keep adding things. We're going to have an anniversary party. So I expect some virtual cake, some balloons, I can't drink anymore. So some non-alcoholic champagne that doesn't taste like apple juice. We expect a big party out here.
I don't know. I might show up in Reno.
I know.
My trip around the country.
But my husband, again, didn't know enough about that. And in his prior marriage, she knew she was going to leave and didn't tell him, but she went out and spent $100,000 in credit cards. Yep. And so then when the divorce came about, well, that money was already collectively there. So give some lessons just in credit. Like I'm a huge fan, whether you've been together forever or not, just for the certainty of the family, you should have I'm going to say his, hers, or hers and hers. I don't care how you all work it out, but each person should have individual and then together. I'm a huge fan of that. That way you each have some independence. I have my children are set up that way. They have bank accounts, savings accounts, companies, flip accounts. I mean, everyone is just set to survive. Like they're not reliant. Like anybody who's living in a relationship where only one person in the family sees the bank account, you got to hire us immediately. Like this is therapy. This is a 911 therapy. There is something way wrong when that's not being able to be shared.
Right. Everything that I have learned over the past 3 years by being in this community, if I had known it back during my divorce time, would have been totally different. So the commingling of the funds, commingling of the credit accounts, is sometimes, yes, you're going to have a joint credit account with your partner, but for the most part, I would have separate credit card accounts. So God forbid anything happens, they're already separated.
Yep. Checking
accounts, you have a household account. Obviously, each person is paying a percentage towards the household bill. So you have that account, and that's what that account is for. You have your own wealth account. They have their own wealth account, and you draw from that. So keeping it, and I'm talking to a lot of people out there that are engaged, newly married, been been together for, even up to 5 years. Look at these things now and separate them now.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with not loving your partner. It has to do with, it's a very logical thing. Take the emotion out of it and look at it logically.
Yep. Because love and money actually don't go together at all. There shouldn't be any emotion around the money. It is what it is, and it needs to take care of things. And I can tell you on the wealth account side, or how you spend, or really how you invest. And if you can't get it, if you can't align on that, then don't have your own. Doug Rosen asked, how much can prenups cover? A lot. Almost every state that I'm aware of. I don't know if Eileen, if you know of a state, but I'm an avid fan, obviously, because I've come to the relationship with more. Typically.
Yeah, I think California is one of the hardest ones.
Yeah.
And one of the most important states to do it in because of the Hollywood and the people that live there. So they're very, very strict on how you do your prenups. But every state has it. Every person should have one, regardless of what the status of your income is now, because as you're working with us and in this community, you're building more wealth. So plan ahead.
Well, and just like you get a Roth IRA. So like a Roth, if you like with me, I got Bitcoin at, really low numbers, but that's my growth. That's my Roth for my kids, right? So if you're in blended relationships, you're going to have to figure those things out. Let's do a few more stories. My wife and I used to fight about money. With Loral's guidance, we've reached a level of certainty that allows a peace of mind. Awesome. Thanks, Mike Dill. Steven says, recently divorced from wife number 2 and been in a spiritual program with Science of Mind. I am ready to learn anything you're willing to teach me. So obviously, the one thing I would talk about with that's probably more important than money and love is love and values. All right. So, living with somebody who has the same values. What is the same value set? What do you both believe in? I mean, I know families that, during this political battle have stood on both sides, and a lot of them got divorced. It was that significant and critical. But integrity. I mean, do you have integrity? Do you have spirituality? So for you, Stephen, I mean, you're obviously going to need to find somebody who, wants to be on that spiritual path with you, or have some agreements around they have their stuff and you have their stuff. I don't think people talk enough about it. I think everybody's looking, and I don't remember if it was Glenn Morshower said, when you start relationships, you look for everything that's common, and, you're looking for commonality. And then when you can't stand them anymore, you're looking for all the differences. Right.
So if you
actually went good and looked at all of it before walking into it with a little more eyes wide open, what would you want to share about the values? Because I know you and John also, you're married.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because in our Intimate Money Rendezvous, Money Date course, and I know we're going to talk about that later, that's one of the first things that you have to do. There's an exercise in there for you to list your values as individuals. And if you're a single person, this is a great thing for you also to be doing, because then you know what your values are when you go to look for that special someone in your life. So it's very important. You don't have to be on the same page. You just have to have the conversation and commit to what your values are and share that with your partner.
Yep. So kind of in order, if you're getting some lists, and we're going to be doing this for a couple of weeks. So don't worry if you're not there. We do have an extraordinary, what would we call it? A money contract is really what we said. We said it's like a love and money contract. So you really need to download that and then come to the next calls and continue to submit your stories. So our internal team will be picking them. I love to have money, John says. I love to have money, and my wife loves to dispose of it. I want to pay bills as quick as I possibly can. My wife feels like we will always be in debt. So first of all, John, we're okay if you're in good debt.
Wait, that wasn't my John, was it?
No. But some of you, again, this was back to make it, spend it. Have each of you have your own accounts. If she wants to spend, let her go be a spender. My husband's a spender. Hates when I tell everybody that, but go look at the big truck that I have out there I'm driving today. It's a nice truck. It's awesome, but it wasn't mine. It wasn't my money. My money's in Flip and Bitcoin and all sorts of other things. And I say that honestly because it's just a difference in choices. So I make, I spend. He makes, he spends. You guys have got to get that organized. And if you have issues with that, I would say, is it an ego problem? It's not about not being able to provide. It's about your own sense of security for the other person. And this is also where insurance comes in, the credit comes in. We have a whole path to help you as you lay out that contract. That'll tell us a lot. In fact, if you want, I know we didn't ask for your contracts, but, getting a few contracts next week would be interesting to do a little coaching on, is a little lengthier coaching. just
Good
to
idea.
see what you've all done to yourself. So again, I would just be separating it. And here's the problem in your pattern that you have right now, John, and wife who likes to spend. You're in, what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. You're making it, spending it, making it, spending. It doesn't matter if she's spending and you're making. That's just pissing everybody off. There's nothing getting put away. Like, where's the investing side of this? Where's the wealth account? Where's money being put away? So you can have some, assets and do a retreat like Eileen's doing right now. Right.
And where's the conversation around the money? That is the most important thing any couple can do, whether you're newly engaged or whether you're dating. I got to tell you, when John and I first started dating, we've been together 15 years now. But in the beginning, I'm a spender. I spent. I took my friends out. We went to the clubs. We did dancing. I spent. I didn't care. I earned it. I wanted to spend it. But as time went through and we were together longer, it was starting to bother John because he's a saver. And we had to, and that's the whole reason we put our course together. We had to sit down and have that conversation and be very caring and respectful and loving to each other when we had the conversation. And things have improved so much because you're both on the same page now. You both know your values. You know your goals. You know where you're headed, and you're doing it together as a couple. No more, this is my money, this is your money. You're having a conversation.
Yep.
It's crucial.
Well, I want to clarify though, because you can have your own money. It's just what you want to do with it. But then there's our money.
Exactly.
Here's I'd say an ugly or bad, right? Leslie, found myself lying in the street after a series of unfortunate events. My husband leaving me after 2 kids moved on to college, or leaving me with 1. Found out my husband put us in huge debt, lost his job. He was a real estate appraisal in 2008. And then it kind of breaks off. So this is that tough love one, which is sort of, so what, now what? If he's not around and is gone, this is you. So this is you being the most amazing mother in front of your children. By the way, you don't get to have a lot of those downtimes. The kids watch it. They can't handle that stress. They cannot handle it. I can't tell you enough. This is the suck it up. You go for a drive. You as best you can, not to hide it like it's some secret. But the blaming during that divorce until that psychologically gets sorted out, they are not your therapist. There's not, you vent to them, say dad's a shithead. You don't do any of that stuff. You get back to work. You get extremely motivated to produce for your family. So I don't know what that is. We have a marketplace starting this week. You figure out a way to, either get some, side hustle jobs, build your own business. I mean, come to our marketplace. We'll teach you how to make money. So this is getting back on your feet.
Right. And surround yourself with the people that are going to help support you with that are going to lift you up, that are going to help you move forward emotionally. Surround yourself with those good people.
Yep. And a lot of you are going to have to break some community and some groups that you used to be with. I mean, think about a year ago, a little over or less than a year ago, now be more than a year ago, sorry, that the groups you used to hang out with, like a lot of them, given whatever their political or health, preferences are, they won't go out. I won't name all mine, but like we have sporting events my kids are in where some of the parents, they won't go to an event. They are like, COVID, I'm staying home. My God, if I go outside, I'll die. That's fine. They're going to have all that. But think about where I was going is think about the groups. Like I know people that were in from biking clubs to hiking clubs to churches. Some of those groups support you. Some of you, I know like have different addiction. Some of our clients actually have silver living facilities for people like that. Like go back to the communities wherever you were before things got shut down. They're somehow online, probably not as best as you can, but I can tell you there's a lot of those groups locally that meet more than you think. Right. And they would maybe don't want to announce them to get shut down or shut off, but find a community. Like you said, I think that's that is like-minded. Again, back to your values. What are you knowing, liking, wanting to do?
Exactly.
Right? Important. Well, Cynthia, what a surprise. The pandemic took me by surprise. It didn't take anybody else by surprise. So I'm glad you're only one surprise. I'm teasing. There's no such thing as semi-retired. That means you've just slowed down and you're not actively working because you got to do something. You want to reactivate your home-based health and beauty course. Absolutely. So again, a lot of you've got to go get back into sales and you got to go sell stuff. Daniel Horton, again, auto sales, flipping used cars is a great business right now. Flip used bikes and you're going to kill it. Yeah, flip RVs and you're going to massively kill it. I had a love and money experience in line with no money, no love phrase. I got attracted to a lady some time ago while I graduated from college. We got along over time and accepted my relationship proposal. She was still in, looks like, high school. So what's the problem? I guess you found love. So I guess that's a good one. We'd like to hear the rest of that story. So when these get printed, I just need to see it. They're getting a little cut off. Owner of an internet radio station, started with 4 partners in 2017. Let's just say they either walked away or I had to fire them for stealing. I'm running the station, but as an army of one, I've now lost my income from my former husband, she says. All right. Well, so you lost some partners and lost a husband. Again, a lot of this you're going to hear is a restart. So if you have a radio station, young lady, you can do a lot with it. You can get a lot of sponsors. You can actually book, time, but you can block time. A lot of radio stations will sell 12 to 16 week blocks of time. So honestly, I would hit a huge reset button, reset the operating agreement, make sure you have an LLC that's over the company, be the sole owner, start making enough money with sponsorships that you can hire more people and get back to it.
And what a perfect time to have a radio station. There's so many people that are online now. They need some place to be. Gosh, there's so many great opportunities there to get speakers for interviewing.
Yep. Donna says, my worst time for me was 2 years ago when my husband walked out of me in our marriage without any warning. It was devastating, heartbroken. He was the love of my life. I'm stuck with the picture in the mind of him standing, and again, it got cut off. So we have to watch whoever's printing these. I'm assuming standing at the door, standing in somebody else's, bedroom. Some exciting story. I'm sure I can fill in the blanks.
So I'm hearing a common theme here, and a lot of it is emotional.
Yep.
And for me, money is not an emotional thing. And I know, Laura, you just touched based on that too. It is what it is. It happened. We empathize with you that it happened. It's now time for you to take care of you, to rediscover yourself and who you are and what you want to do in the world. I'm sure you have fabulous talents and skill sets there that the world needs. So now it's time to get them out there.
So let's switch to you and John. So you have a date night. So talk a little bit about your ritual between you and John and your relationship.
Sure. So we realized, as I was saying earlier in the story, but we realized that we did not have a common ground, a common values and common goals. And until we started sitting down and actually doing a money date night, we do it on a weekly basis. We have already done the hardest part, which is gathering all the financial data together. And, we created our spreadsheets and our worksheets and we put everything down. And then we actually have a date night. And the reason we call it a money date night is because it leads into a very fun date. We talk about the money, we go through, and it's all done in we have a contract that you have to sign. So that's the secondary contract that you will sign after you have done Laurel's, because the more you reinforce things, the better the date night's going to go. So you look at what went out. Some people want to do this on a monthly basis, but I really recommend to do it weekly. But you're going to look at all the money that flowed into your life. It's called cash flow for a reason. It's coming and it's going. And it's all a blessing. Be thankful and grateful that you had the money coming into your life. Bless where it came from. Look at where it was going and why. And then you have to talk about what was spent and why was it spent. And if the two of you agree that maybe it shouldn't have been spent on that particular item, have a respectful conversation about it. It's all about the communication. You want to listen to each other. You want to make sure that the other person feels that they are heard. And we just go through, we created a course from it because we just go through a very easy step-by-step system that gets us through whatever was happening. Usually lasts about an hour and a half. In the beginning, it's going to take longer because you do have to gather all the information together. But we just honor each other because we love each other so much and we care about each other so much that these conversations, and we called it intimate money rendezvous because the intimacy comes back. So many times when couples get married in the beginning, it's all wonderful. And then life starts to happen and now you're just roommates. That's not a good thing. And we don't want that for anyone.
Yep. And so talk a little bit about the contract that we have and give some guidance. So again, we're going to put the link out here. It's askloral.com, /my story to submit my story. And let's see, what's the link out here what's the link for the contracts, Thomas? Looking back up here. Money date. So askloral.com /money date is the money contract we want you to fill out and go through. That'll help inspire more questions and more for next week. But why don't you talk through a little bit?
The reason that I like to have a contract, John, my partner in life, he's a contracts person. So when we started putting this program together for us, we were like, okay, we need to mutually agree to certain guidelines of, number one, how we're going to communicate with each other. And then what are the parameters of the actual date night? How are we going to do this? And are we going to sign off and actually agree to do it? So when you have a contract, you're committing to each other. You are saying to your partner, I care so much about you that I will do this, not just for you, but for me and for us. Yeah. And it makes it so much easier when you sign off on that. You literally have to go through those pages, read everything, and sign off on it. And what you don't agree with, that's when you have a conversation about it. Because I can guarantee you what's going to happen is when you care that much about your partner, you will realize you will agree to this. And then the other important thing about the contracts is make sure you have them near you. When we're doing our money date night, we frame the contract. We have it with us. And if one of us goes off key from what we said we were going to do, all we do is just look at the contract to remind ourselves that we made that commitment to each other.
Yep. Awesome.
Very important.
It is. And so
we do contracts. We do contracts for everything else in our lives. Why not as a couple? Yeah. Just makes sense.
Well, and I think by going through the contract, a lot of you will get stirred and kind of triggered by some of the things that are maybe going on in your life, and then resubmit your story then, right? Perfect. So resubmit your story then, and we're going to be back. We're going to talk more about the stories. On our site, I will have our team call you or text you to let you know we're going to go live, because it does help to ask a lot of questions so we get a little more thorough solution. That's why I kind of cut them short for today. And there is a theme. Like, what's interesting is the divorce theme.
Yeah.
I'm at the tail end of a divorce again. This is from Robert. I read you have to redo your finances, anticipating the buyoff of a company. So, some of this stuff too, what I like to invite you to know about us. I mean, we are so comprehensive in our integration of our wealth coaching is we'll coach you through your divorce. I love coaching through divorces. I love coaching into prenuptials that don't get you there, because that's just an easy, clean cut. Really easy ways to do that. I mean, I've been divorced once. Jason's my, second marriage. Same. He's had 2 kids. We both had 2 kids, and second marriage. So what's his is his. What's, mine is mine. We've always known that. He's Canadian. He's got, they got different mothers, he is the father of mine. So all that matters. All that has to be taken into consideration. So it's not like the contract's going to be the solve all everything. Like it depends. I mean, it kind of depends on a lot of this, but I think the divorce thing, we can really dig in, especially, Eileen and I and a few other coaches will really help dig in to stop the bleeding. Like some of you, like this buy off of a company, I don't know that you necessarily have to just sell it. I mean, there's other assets you can divide if you look at evaluation differently. You can say, well, I really loved the company. So like the radio station Renee, if you want one of the assets, keep it. But then there's other assets that you could, not have to untangle. Like a lot of times divorce lawyers they don't give 2 shits about tax, business. They just want you separate and not killing each other. But they're not thinking financially. They're not thinking that's ridiculous to liquidate a business. It's ridiculous to liquidate entities, to just sell the house to sell the house because somebody said you had to sell the house. Those are all huge issues that I would say, on the front of a divorce, we would love to coach you through it. Because
there's very important conversations to have with that.
It's huge. And then just from a credit, think about the credit that we can help preserve in the family if they will have a conversation with us. And we're not like, no, we're not your lawyer, but I can tell you, we will give your lawyer a lot of guidance. Your lawyer's just getting the job done. Go ahead.
We've experienced a lot of things. Perfect example in a divorce. I did not know this when this happened. If you're a joint ownership on a vehicle, and just because you have in your divorce decree that this spouse gets this car and this spouse gets that car, they're still responsible if they're jointly paying that bill initially. So with me, my ex-husband decided to stop paying on his vehicle, and that messed me up. It's like, come on. Some people don't know that. So you really, it's good to have other advocates on your side, not just one person.
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, it's your decision. So instead of feeling like a victim at the end of it, I mean, I tease about mine because mine was expensive, but I got it the way that I wanted it. I got where he lives, how he interacted with my daughter. I got it the way that I needed it to feel safe, to feel like I could continue to move. So a lot of you got to get on the other side of this emotion very, very quickly and start, the command of recreating. Just like you can recreate anything that you want because you're amazing and you should. So any words of wisdom between now and next week?
Well, I would just say, get the contract, take a look at it, get your money stories in. I know the links are in the chat, and let's make sure that we can guide you. I can't wait to see who the winners are of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And really just start thinking about having the conversation with your spouse, your significant other, your partner now, because I'm sure, there's a lot of things that you don't know about them when it comes to their money beliefs and their values. And it's very important that you know those. Exactly.
So I'm putting in the chat our office line. Some of you have been asking. I said I need to have that conversation. The one we just discussed. So it is a coaching program that doesn't come lightly. Molly answers that. Molly, Kristen Lavelle answer our 9200. So 588-9200. And if you want a conversation, just call. I know some of you private message me and we really need a call. But Eileen, you also have just really an introductory how to get started.
How to get started.
Talk a little bit about it. We're going to really dive in and maybe have some slides on it next week to really have them see what they're going to get. But go ahead and share what you're going to do.
So since John and I have gone through this process and we have successfully had our money date nights, and like I said, it's just the beauty of them is you are having the conversations about the money. You are agreeing. You have money rules put in place. You have a contract that you're adhering to, and your intimacy in your relationship. And since this month is all about love, we wanted to, we put together a course called Intimate Money Rendezvous, and it's a couples money date night. And it's not just for couples though, because the things within this course, it is a getting started course for every single person, whether you are in a relationship or not. It will also prepare you for when you do find that significant other that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And we are offering the course for $297. And I believe the link is askloral.com/moneydate.
Yep.
So this course it's really going to help couples have that money conversation.
I just want to ask, is it a group for $297 or is that really one-on-one?
That's a one-on-one.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh my God, you're insane.
I know.
I'm her coach, so I'm going to make her add a 0 soon to that. So this is serious. You better chop. Better be getting take advantage of that right now.
Yeah. What's beautiful about the course is that it's going to take you through the exercises, and it's not a lot of videos. The videos average maybe 5 minutes. It's the exercises where you're going to put in the work. Because like I said earlier, you have to gather all your data together, and we have a checklist of what you need to have and how you want to put it in place. And when you start having the conversations, everything is just going to flow so much easier. And I got to tell you, you are going to look forward to the next date night. In the course, we talk about you can do it weekly, you can do it every other week, you can do it monthly. John and I love to do it weekly, and we do it in the middle of the week, usually on a Wednesday night, because we look forward to it. It brings us closer together. And by the time the weekend comes, we're having more date nights, and it's not just about the money.
You're so cute.
Keep it going.
You're awesome. All right. So again, always go to Millionaires in Training. We'll continue to do things over there. Millionaires in Training, you do your hashtag 2021 commitments. We will always be looking over there and responding. And again, go to askloral.com. Oh, so this is the online course. Sorry, this is Money Date. Where then is the contract? I thought the Money Date was...
My Story. askloral.com/mystory.
Where you put the story
contract.
And get the contract. Okay, got it. So go sign up for Eileen's course. Submit your stories. We want way more stories. And again, we'll call to get you live with us next week. And
that'll be fun.
Be back. Same time, we're going to have a little anniversary party. I don't know what we're really going to do, but maybe a little celebration. And excited. So funny. I've like somebody on here, Susan. I don't even know Susan. Susan, I must have to meet you. She said, no story. You're married to my cousin. That would be Jason. Didn't know he had a cousin called Susan. About that. He said, hope you two are very happy. Please ask him to keep in touch. I will.
That's great.
So give us your phone number. I'll pass it on to my husband. And we'll make sure you stay in touch. All right. So big month, Love and Money Month. This weekend is Valentine's. Enjoy. We'll be back for my anniversary next Tuesday with stories, contracts. We'll bring you live. And on the next week, we'll be picking who has more. Let's on your program though, Eileen, bring a few slides next week. Just kind of show people visually, like maybe a few things that they'll be going through when they work through that with you.
Absolutely.
And then from her $297, you're going to go to the big table, and Eileen can sell it. Just do it.
Well, the beauty about coming to the big table is you get to work with all of us and having those money conversations. I mean, I let me just say this real quick. When John and I started back in 2018, the conversations we were having about money, totally different than what we are doing now. And being in this program, well, I can't even call it a program. It's a community. Being in the community has gotten us to where we are today, 3 years later, and best decision ever.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Eileen. Appreciate you. Have fun in Phoenix. Get a good tan.
I'll try.
Thomas, as far as this week, we're going to miss you this week, by the way, Eileen. We have the biggest show we've ever done. We are over 200 registered. Super excited about this show. Our team has worked their tail off, and I've been out on amazing summits and amazing folks. And we're going to continue to build and build and build. Those of you who are that have not been, so Thomas, go ahead and put in the link. We can take some last minute registrations. We're really going to close the door at 200, but we know some people are going to call today and tomorrow, and they'll move. You can only move once, so we're going to start charging a transfer fee because just moving around is not a commitment for money. So you're going to pay for a transfer fee if you move more than once. So we have a huge room this week. The 25th and 26th is the next one. March, same dates. March 11, 12, and March 25, 26. So on our side, Steve, team, Damon, let's make sure everyone, including Eileen, Adam, everyone knows. So we have a full staff. We need a lot of people. Because I know once I go live on Clubhouse, I think this thing's going to ramp up. We're going to have the biggest marketplaces. If you've already been to the marketplace, right now we're doing a special. It's normally the one ticket's $97. But right now, if you buy Expression of Your Power, which is only $27, you get 2 for $27. So we're doing a bunch of different campaigns on the internet. So if you want to put the Expression of Your Power, you're actually going to get this whole program live with Bob Proctor and I for $27 because it is your relationship to money. $27, and it comes with 2 tickets to the marketplace. And you say, well, I've already been them. Sell them. They're worth $97. Make some money. Think. And then if you've already been, again, the $3.99, I haven't added a zero to that. Eileen's going to sometime coach me on that.
That $3.99 is a fabulous deal. I got to tell you, people that aren't jumping on that. Oh, yep. That's crazy. Amazing that you're doing that.
I'm probably going to let it go through the March table. And then April 1, it's going to be not an April Fool's Day. It's going to change price.
There you go.
If you didn't get it, it's going to be, that wasn't an April Fool's Day. That was a true price change. Cause it's huge. I mean, Thomas, I think you said it was 14 cents. It's like
between the coaching and the venue. Yeah. It's 12 cents an hour for just the first year. And you're not going to find, there are other people out there that charge like $50 for an event and it's an hour long and you don't get the coaching. You just get to meet other people. And we do both the coaching and the venue of a marketplace. So there's not a better offer out there right now. And so even if it was $1.50 an hour, it still makes sense. So believe me when I say Loral's considering raising the price. Hack now.
Yep.
I thought it was a great deal at 97. So come on.
And so what is the meetup, the /meetup? Is that for the event ticket or that the 27?
That's just for the generic meetup ticket for the marketplace itself. They go to my story. They will be able to put in their love and money story, and then they will have the opportunity through that to get into that $28 ticket that you talked about for the marketplace. So all the links we've talked about today, they will get you in the opportunity to be at the best money making event that's out there right now. We'd love to have you all join us. Like I said, this week is going to be crazy busy. And as Laurel's going to get on Clubhouse and a lot of these other podcast opportunities where people are reaching out, having that conversation about money is just going to get bigger and bigger. And I'd love to see everyone there.
Absolutely. And new news. So today, Adam Kipnis, Sharon Lecter's going to pop in, Eric Swanson's popping in, and a whole bunch of other folks. So 1:00, go to Clubhouse, pop in, come see what we're going to be doing over there. And yes, Ron, it is, but they're kicking ass over there. I don't know that Clubhouse is done through China. I think I know the owners are U.S. based because I know who trained 7 people who are working for them. So they are U.S. based. So
Laurel, I've been researching Clubhouse because I wasn't familiar with it until you texted me about it. You need to have an invite to get into it. Somebody needs to invite you.
Well, where's my little team out there so we can get
somebody invite me.
So actually, Thomas, since you're live out here, we can stay on a minute. Reach out to Melissa. She'll know how to do the invites. Melissa and Molly are at the command. And
awesome.
Let's just stay out here for a minute if you want to go grab that.
Sure.
Let's get over to Clubhouse. TikTok, I don't know. I think to stay out of China, Ron, I don't know all the politics behind it. I think somebody in the U.S. bought major shares to keep TikTok alive because believe me, my daughter's on it. But it is becoming a very, very, they now have a business section and it's shocking. If you look at our sector, I think, Promise, you came up with the stats. I mean, between Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, that's where the event people in now Clubhouse are hanging out. Only, as my daughter says, old people hang out on Facebook. So, sorry, we're way over there. I mean, hell, I have mentors and coaches that still have frickin' AOL accounts. I can't even believe that. I have some that still have a Yahoo account. Oh. Yeah. So, don't be teasing out here. So if you'd like an invite there, go to Molly at Ask IWS and she will sort that out very quickly.
Yep.
And Ron, you're so cute. I have an AOL. All right. So we'll be seeing you. And guess what? Next week, we'll be doing this. And right after, so you can start blocking your time. At 1:00 on Tuesdays, I'm going live on Clubhouse. I'll be going on live, but we're going to be staging. I just got Kevin Harrington to commit. The Harrington gang is coming. So we'll be making over companies. So I will be loading myself up with a cast of characters. I'm going to go jump and I'll get Grant. I'll get all the guys you want to talk to. I know you'd like to talk to me. I'm cooler, real. Okay. We'll invite them too. So we will do a big invite. We can invite as long as you are in our system. And Molly will handle that. So just email Molly. All right. If we don't talk again, I will see you Thursday and Friday. We have a After Hours Thursday night. And back here on Tuesday with Eileen and I, and then a Clubhouse with Kevin Harrington right after. Stay tuned. Tons going on. As always, over here, we just keep rocking and rocking and rocking. You go have some sunshine for me, young lady.
Thank you. It is nice and bright out there.
All
right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Laurel. And again, if you'd like an invite to Clubhouse, please email Molly at askiws.com. That's MOLLIE at askiws.com. The link is also there in the chat box if you would like to learn more about the event that we have going on. Clubhouse is an Apple-only product right now, so if you're on Android, sorry, you're out of luck. So, buy someone's iPhone for on the cheap or an iPad Touch or something like that. You'll be able to participate and get to join the Clubhouse. But there's a lot of people having a lot of success on it right now. Something that's starting to make some big waves in the community. So, again, if you would like to have a Clubhouse invite, email Molly, MOLLIE at askiws.com. So, we'll be happy to send those out. And we look forward to seeing you all there. And you can do so by attending the event here in just a moment on Clubhouse as well, too. So on behalf of Eileen and Laurel, I want to thank you all. Look forward to seeing you at the event and the community in the upcoming months. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Loral Langmeyer, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Laurel's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Laurel? Visit AskLaurel.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.